Hey, vinyl community, it's Mazzy here, and Richard McCook, Irishman, has a 500th sub contest that I'm gonna enter my submission right now. I'm gonna submit to you, Richard McCook, and the premise is pick 6 songs, make a playlist of an artist you love. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna flip the record over at the end and do it again, just because. So you can just cut off halfway through if you don't want to see the other side, the other 6. I'm going with Zevon, Warren Zevon, one of my favorite artists, to me one of the best writers from and about LA, Los Angeles, the dark sort of noir side of Los Angeles. So here we go with Warren Zevon. Now, I decided for this 6, what's also amazing about Zevon's songwriting is that not only he writes about Los Angeles and the dark underbelly of that city, especially during the 70s and 80s, he writes about historical figures, some authentic, some fictitious, and I'm going to kind of take that route. I think these are great songs based loosely or based on history, and then he just runs with it and makes some incredible songs. So starting with his self-titled Asylum record here, I'm gonna pick Frank and Jesse James, the opening track. First of all, the opening piano and the orchestration. His orchestration, and by the way, he's a composer. He does orchestrate and score his own strings quite a bit on his records. Very influenced by the classical composer Aaron Copland, very reminiscent of that, like Appalachian Spring and Rodeo, Billy the Kid. So Frank and Jesse James is right out of that. Great song. Phil Everly from the Everly Brothers is harmony on that song. And just before the recording of this record, several years before, Warren Zevon was on the road with the Everly Brothers, was their musical arranger and pianist. So I'm going with Frank and Jesse James from the self-titled album, my favorite album of his, by the way. And I'm going his second album. Everyone knows this because of Werewolves of London, which I'm not picking. It's almost like a novelty song. It's really unfortunate that that's what he's known for. But I'm going to go first with the fictitious song on this album, the great song Roland, the Headless Thompson Gunner. About mercenaries. He writes a lot about mercenaries in South America and coups and things, and it's kind of about the Congolese War in the 60s. It's based around, but this fictitious story they take on about Roland, this kind of a ghost of a Thompson gunner who just roams the lands. Also in this album, I'm going to do one more, Veracruz. Beautiful song, Veracruz. It goes through some history, but you know, Veracruz, the Mexican port city that was invaded by the Spanish invaded and basically the Aztec Empire early on. Over the years, the Spanish-American War, it was a port city of turmoil. Also, when the French invaded, the Pastry War. Yes, the Pastry War. But he doesn't talk specifically about that, but it's beautiful, beautiful song, Veracruz. And again, Warren Zevon really kind of is the history buff on a lot of this music, these 6 that I'm picking. Now I'm getting into sports world for 2 back-to-back songs from his, I think this is his debut when he switched labels and went to Virgin Records. Sentimental Hygiene is the name of the album. The song is Boom Boom Mancini. It's at the middleweight boxing champion. So kind of fun song about the boxer Boom Boom Mancini. And over the years, he's written songs about baseball players, about hockey players. So aside from ammos or lawyers, guns, and money and things like that in LA, he's a sports fan, it seems. Boom Boom Mancini is fighting. Let's see. Let me see that again. Bobby Chacon. Mancini's fighting Bobby Chacon. Then I love this record. This was his third album for Asylum Records, Bad Luck Streak and Dancing School, and the song on here is Bill Lee. It's about the baseball player named Bill Lee, obviously. That's why they named it Bill Lee. Bill Lee, otherwise known as the Spaceman, because he said bizarre things. He played, if you're into baseball, I know a lot of the people of the other side of the pond aren't baseball fans, but he played for the for Boston, and he played for I forgot what other, maybe he played for Toronto? No. What's the other Canadian baseball team I think he played for? Anyway, Bill Lee, Spacey, he would say stupid things, he'd be on that mound, and it's a great song called Bill Lee. Short song on this album by Warren Zevon. And lastly, I'm gonna showcase Warren Zevon, the Envoy, and the song on this record, the Envoy, is the Envoy, the title track. Nuclear arms in the Middle East, Israel attacking the Iraqis, the Syrians are mad as Lebanese, and Baghdad does what the hell of it. Baghdad does whatever she please. Looks like another threat to world peace for the Envoy. Warren Zevon. Okay, let's flip the record. Just gonna 6 more. You can stop it here for my entry. Now that I've flipped the record, by the way, we're listening to these demos of Warren Zevon called Warren Zevon Preludes, Rare and Unreleased Recordings. This came out in 2007 on New West Records, demos. Warren Zevon, beautiful book. Okay, I'm talking the rockin' side, the really kind of, I want to say angry side, but just when he rock and rolls. In fact, let me show you this. I'm not including this, but if you like really rockin', just nasty rockin' sounding record, you don't hear about this record. I'm not including this in terms of the songs, but it covers a lot of his hits. Live record, he plays guitar and piano. Just, he really rocks out. He cocaine infused, alcohol ridden rock and roll, gritty, really amazing rock and roll record. So pick this one up. Stand on the Fire recorded at the Roxy in Los Angeles. But the songs I'm gonna include here, starting with, again, from this album, Poor, Poor, Pitiful Me. Great, great song. Just nasty song. Covered, ironically, by Linda Ronstadt, who had Zevon slightly change, add a verse to it. But just a kind of a nasty song and self-deprecating in a way, but just picking on yourself. But Poor, Poor, Pitiful Me. I lay my head on the double E, lay my tracks on the double E, waiting for the train. I don't remember the lyrics. Again, from his wonderful second Asylum album, I'm talking about Lawyers, Guns, and Money. Patty Hearst had the worst of, oh, wrong song. That's from Headless, the Thompson Gunner. Same album. What a great record this is. Anyway, the album ends off with Lawyers, Guns, and Money. Dad, get me out of this. Again, he's stuck, and he's singing, help me out. I went home with the waitress, the way I always do. How was I to know she was with the Russians too? I was gambling in Havana. I took a little risk. Send lawyers, guns, and money. Dad, get me out of this. Warren Zevon. A little tempestuous, violent side to him, unfortunately, but great, great artist. Going back to the Envoy, the song on here is Ain't That Pretty at All. It's just again, a nasty, dirty dirge of a song. Danny Cooch and Leland Sklar on this. Just the bass playing, the guitar playing on this is really raw and that sort of mid-70s, again, the dark side, not the pleasant Fleetwood Mac side of LA or Eagles, but the kind of like, and a lot of the same artists played on all these records. Really cool, kind of a cool side to them. But anyway, ain't that pretty at all. Next, again from Dancing School, I'm going with a song which I think is an amazing song, and it's Play It All Night Long. Now listen to this lyric. I think it's Play It All Night Long. Grandpa pissed his pants again, he don't give a damn. Brother Billy has both guns down, he ain't been right since Vietnam. Sweet Home Alabama, play that dead band song. Turn those speakers up full blast, play it all night long. Great fucking song. And the only song that I know of in the world, and I could be wrong, and someone's gonna write in the notes here, only song I know about, it has the word brucellosis. It's a cattle disease, brucellosis. That's a little trivia thing. Can you name us another song that has the word brucellosis in it? Sentinel Hygiene again, Warren Zevon, and the song on here is Bad Karma. Great song. There's a little sort of a sitar guitar lift, but it's a big rockin' song. This is something I did, Bad Karma's Killing Me by Degree. Anyway, again, Bad Karma. He had some bad karma for a while too, unfortunately. And lastly, I'm gonna end up with one of the records, a new record, not a new record, but for this, I didn't pull it earlier, Transverse City. Any of these Warren Zevon records are worth picking up. Again, this was on Virgin Records. Wilder has some 80s electronic stuff, but the song on here is Turbulence. And it's just a really kind of, it could have been a hit single in the 80s, I think. Great song, Turbulence, on Warren Zevon's album called Transverse City on the Virgin Records. Anything Warren does is right by me. Anyway, congratulations, Richard McCook, 500 subscribers. And if you watch this side of it, that means you flipped the record. Mazzy loves you.